Hi, it's Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge. Today we're going to take a look at another Harnds knife. Not the huge Harnds Blazer. This time it's a smaller one called the Knight. It comes in black and a color called Sand, which is like a coffee that has way too much whitener in it. That kind of color. Come on to the desktop, to the bench top, and we're going to take a closer look at this knife. I think it's pretty cool. Come on down. Okay, so this is the Knight. Not one of the knights who say "nee," a different Knight. There it is. Let's see the name right there. For those of you who caught my search for the Holy Grail Monty Python joke there. 8CR14 MOV. Knight by Harnds. I think you ignore the D and just say Harnds. And it says there, knife and tool above Harnds. Harnds knife and tool. Okay, yeah, it comes in this or the tan. Let's start with the blade. The blade's a nice narrow, it's got a little bit of a swoop down and then your drop point with a bit of a swedge. I can get the light to go off of that just right. You can see exactly what I mean as the light reflects back and forth right there at that swedge. So it comes to a nice tip there. And the blade's got a nice flat section with a bit of a belly there. About 3/4 of an inch thick for most of it until it comes down to the tip. Nice flat zone there to clamp onto to sharpen this knife. Hollow grind. That looks nice. It is for the length. I wrote this down. Where's my notes? There they are. Just under 3 inches of cutting. I don't know if you're going to get in legal trouble or not if you're in a jurisdiction for 3 inches because the actual steel from the end of the frame to the tip is over 3 inches. I wish they would make it, just under 3 inches so that people would be totally and absolutely confident if their knife is legal or not in those areas. So that's a tiny beef on this. If you're going to make it less than 3 inches, make it less than 3 inches. The scales, I forgot to look up if they were G10 or if they're glass filled nylon. Snap. I'm going to go double check that right now. It turns out that I was right to wonder that. It is glass-filled nylon. A really cool texture. If I get the light to hit it just right, there you go. So it feels really nice in the hand. It's a little bit small. I've got a large size hand, so it's a tiny bit on the small side for me. It'd be very good for somebody with a medium or small size hand. Liner lock, and that locks up rock solid. A large part of that is due to it's got a nice thick blade. I just wonder sometimes about these knives that have these thin blades down at the pivot, and I just wonder. The detent on it is very nice. I haven't been talking about the detent on a lot of knives lately. I don't know why I keep forgetting to mention it, but there it goes, sucks it in just at the end. But it's enough to hold it. You can't make it come loose by shaking it. Holds really nice. Centering of this blade in there is very good. See how the blade stays really thick until just close to the end. So that gives it a lot of strength on the tip. They've made this nice and solid and nothing happens to the tip at all. So it's got a really good finish on this steel. Oh, did I forget to write that down again too? I'll be right back. I think it's 8CR14 MOV, but I got to double check. Okay, my wife came home and now I don't remember exactly where I was on this review. So if I go over something twice here, just bear with me. The blade nice and thick so it doesn't wiggle, no loose movements. I was going to talk about the clip. Notice anything different? I put the clip down here on the other end. So that's what you have. Right side top or bottom. So now we've got tip up carry possible, and you know, you hold it in your hand. Some people might find when it's in the tip up position that this clip right there, if you take a look at it that way, creates a slight bit of a hot spot. If you're a lefty, not really at all, because your fingers can go, my fingers go right between the two right there, and you've got a nice tight hold of it. But on a right hand, that goes right into the middle of your, right between these two fingers on me, right there. So this is a nice knife all in all. I like it. If you like to get a smaller knife, you know, a narrower knife this way. The weight of it, let's talk about that. It's 98 grams, 3.5 ounces. It could be lighter if they wouldn't have put so many pillars in there. Open pillar construction? No. This is closed pillar construction. Look at all those pillars. It's not closed. Technically, it's still open, but 5 of them. Most knives, this knife have 2. They could have gotten away with 1 large one. Nice little lanyard hole right there. 550 paracord will just fit in there. A little bit of jimping on the riser right here of the thumb riser there. I think I would have bought the tan one, or the sand colored one. That's what they're calling it, sand, if I would have known about it when I bought it. GearBest has it for the black one for $6.74 right now. It's the May 31st when I'm recording this. I'm not sure when I'm going to put this up though. The sand colored one is $9.26, and if you go to Fast Tech, which I don't recommend, and I'll tell you why in another video, it costs a little bit more, $9.72 and $9.46 depending on which color you get. Okay, so here's this decent knife, the Harnds Knight. Oh, I didn't have to go look up the steel. It says right there under Knight, 8CR14 MOB. Remember, guys, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb. Bye now.